Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Isabella Chisholm, a corn, soybean, and sweet corn farmer from Indiana, and I serve as the chair of the AFBF Women's Leadership Committee. In that role, I've served on the AFBF Board of Directors for 4 years. To kick off this session, we're going to celebrate the wet-nosed, muddy-pawed, tail-wagging member of many farm families. The one who's generally most excited about doing their chores, the farm dog. Our sponsor, Nestle Purina Pet Care, has been making high-quality and trusted pet foods, treats, and litter products for more than 90 years. Farm Bureau is thrilled to have teamed up with them for the past 7 years to award the Farm Bureau Farm Dog of the Year. First, we'll name the People's Choice Pup, selected through a social media contest. 5 dogs were in the hunt for this award. And our winner is Daisy, owned by Kentucky Farm Bureau members Shelby and Laura Ennis.
Here was this little dog standing in the middle of the road. So I called to her. I didn't want her to get hit. Shelby then got in there, and he loved how smart she was. So she's been his dog ever since. There are only 4 steps in the kitchen. I don't know if I missed the railing or if I passed out or what, but the next thing I knew, I was laying on the floor and thinking, well, how will I ever get Shelby's attention? But she went up and got Shelby. She persisted and got him. Some people think that dogs have some kind of a sixth sense to know about what's going on. We rescued her out of the road, and then she rescued me when I fell.
Daisy wins a basket full of Purina products, a trophy, and $2,500. Here to present the award is Jack Scott from Purina. Daisy and her owners are home on the farm, but here to accept the award is family member Kevin Mobley. Congratulations. Now for our Farm Dog of the Year winner. Our top dog wins a year's worth of Purina Pro Plan dog food, a Purina Products basket, and trophy plate, and $5,000. The 2025 Farm Bureau Farm Dog of the Year is Sirius from Florida.
This is my favorite part of the day, where I get to feed the miniature therapy horses. These horses have a very important job. They go to hospitals and work with veterans, children. They're invaluable, and the Maremas really are the guardians. They make sure that they have a healthy, safe life here on the farm. Sirius may not look like every farm dog that you come across, but he's still a very special dog. Sirius is a Maremma livestock guardian dog, and it's about a 2,000-year-old breed. The breed is intended to bond with the herd, so it's really in their blood. We can see that in Sirius. When these dogs are on alert and watching the herd, we know they're safe. I feel like it's a 24/7 security system that's on the farm. Our mission is to serve the community. We've been doing this for 27 years. We were called up to be at Sandy Hook after the tragedy there. We worked with families and first responders after the Pulse nightclub tragedy. I feel like it's a very special role. If you can bring a smile to someone's face, whether it's a first responder or a family who's lost a child, it's giving them permission to laugh when they're going through something you can't even imagine. So I think to be able to offer that, we couldn't ask for a better thing to do with our lives. Every farmer is proud of the animals on their farm. All animals are different, and you feel like your farm is special, and certainly feel that way about our farm. Having the Maremas, having Sirius come on the property and do the job that they do makes us feel like we can go forward. I feel great about the farm being safe, and I feel very proud about the Maremas, of what Sirius is doing and how he's protecting these very special little creatures.
On stage is George Garcia Bengochea to accept the award on behalf of his wife Debbie and Sirius, who is home taking care of the farm. Thank you again to Purina for sponsoring the Farm Dog of the Year contest for the 7th year, and congratulations to Sirius, George, and Debbie.
I learned early on that Farm Bureau had the reputation and respect of a great organization in the ag world. It's that reputation and respect that has opened doors for us to step up and drive forward for the betterment of agriculture. Just one of the reasons that I am so proud to be part of such a great organization.
When you get involved with Farm Bureau, as you start to witness the strength of the grassroots organization, in seeing the important legislative wins and the important defeats, how do you not get excited, step up, drive forward, and help take this organization to the next level?
So through the years, Farm Bureau has been just tremendous in helping develop people in their communication skills and their outreach and our advocacy efforts. It all starts with the young farmers for me, and as we transition out of the young farmers into other leadership roles, we are better equipped to communicate our message.
One of the things I like most about being involved with American Farm Bureau Federation is the networking opportunities it affords me. I can call up 50 other presidents across the country and find out how I can interpret their problems and work them into how I can find solutions.
Another thing Farm Bureau has really done for me is to meet so many farmers and ranchers outside my own area that we can work together whenever there's an issue that comes up with an agency or with the state or federal government, that we can reach out to one another so that we get multiple people from multiple areas reaching out with the same cause to our elected leaders or to our agency heads.
From Women's Communication Boot Camp to the PAL program, Farm Bureau has afforded me many opportunities to step up and drive forward in my leadership and advocacy journey. So my question for you in 2025 is, how will you step up and drive forward for the future of agriculture and the future of Farm Bureau?
Hello everyone, I'm Sean Harding, a third-generation fruit and vegetable farmer and president of North Carolina Farm Bureau. I've also been a member of the AFBF Executive Committee for the past year. It's now my great privilege to present the winner of AFBF's oldest honor, the Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award. It is given in recognition of outstanding service in the national interest of American agriculture. This year, it goes to the Honorable Colin Peterson.
Look closely at this grainy video from a Farm Aid concert.
How can I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there.
The lead singer, Minnesota Congressman Colin Peterson, is a rock star.
We are the Second Amendments. We're 5 members of Congress that are a little bipartisan, like to have fun once in a while.
A rock star for American agriculture.
Anything that
folks think affects agriculture in rural America, we're happy to hear.
Holding key positions on the House Agriculture Committee during his 30 years in office, Peterson negotiated passage of several farm bills.
So I was chairman of the committee twice. I was the chairman when we did the 2007-8 Farm Bill, and I was ranking member on the 13 Farm Bill and the 18 Farm Bill. And people will tell you, had I not been there and in the room, we probably wouldn't have got those done.
When he was in Congress, Peterson was known for working with friends on both sides of the aisle to reach a consensus on farm legislation.
We are going to do all we can to make sure this committee operates on a bipartisan basis. You can't do a farm bill with one party. A partisan farm bill is not going to work. It's not going to pass. So you've got to have something that you can pare down so both sides got something that they want or need. Both sides have got what they can live with.
I think what made Chairman Peterson so successful was his candidness and his bipartisan nature. When folks would have issues or concerns with certain pieces of legislation, they could go to him and really come out with a clear answer, and you didn't have to wonder where you stood with the chairman.
Peterson had a solid relationship with Farm Bureau over his years in Congress, as he did with other farm organizations.
Chairman Peterson always was interested in making sure that Farm Bureau was at the table, and that's one thing that we really appreciated working with him over the years.
Farm Bureau has been great. They do a wonderful job. They've got good lobbyists. It's all very helpful.
A member of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party, Peterson piloted a small plane to get around his state's large 7th congressional district.
I think it's the 4th biggest farm district in the country in terms of receipts.
Peterson was first elected to the House shortly after the farm crisis of the mid-'80s. From his perspective, many of the challenges facing American agriculture today are the same as they were then.
We keep becoming more urban and suburban, and so we have more people that do not understand what we're doing in agriculture, and that's a problem.
Peterson's congressional office was recreated in a museum at Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. He continues to advise on farm policy through the Peterson Group and Midwest Council on Agriculture.
I don't need this job. I could go back home and retire and take a break, but I just feel like I've got something to offer. People have been calling me, and so I'm hanging in there.
Because he is an avid hunter, Peterson named his rock band of fellow congressmen the Second Amendments.
We started this band in '95. We rehearsed in my office. Some of my buddies that I've played with over the years, Neil Young and Arlo Guthrie and Stephen Stills and Skunk Baxter. So I've had an illustrious career in music.
He may never be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but to Farm Bureau, he'll always be a star for American agriculture.
Getting this Distinguished Service Award from the Farm Bureau is probably one of the highlights of my career. We've worked together on so many things, and it's just a high honor to get this award. It's, I don't know if I deserve it or not, but I appreciate it.
Colin Peterson, winner of the 2025 American Farm Bureau Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award.
Joining the congressman on stage is Dan Glessing, president of Minnesota Farm Bureau, which is nominated for the award. Congressman, would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you very much. And, I would never dreamed that I would be doing something like this. When I was a 6-year-old kid in 4-H the first time way back when, I couldn't even get up and talk in front of the 4-H club without turning all red. So I came a long way from there, and it's been really an honor of a lifetime to be able to be involved in the Congress in agriculture, to chair the committee, for being in Congress for 30 years. I don't know how I stood it that long, but I did. But it's great people. And we have the new chairman, Glenn Thompson, is with us today. He's a good friend of mine. I've been up to his state a few times with him to the farm show up there in Harrisburg, I think it is, right? And we have Angie Craig, who's the new ranking member from Minnesota, right next to him. And Angie is somebody that I have been involved with from the first time she ran. And she has just done an outstanding job for us in Minnesota and also on the committee. She's somebody that you can work with. She gets it. She understands agriculture. She gets along with her farmers out there. Kind of like, I represented a Republican district for 30 years. At one time, I was getting 75% of the vote, and that kind of eroded after time. But she's kind of doing the same thing. She's representing some real solid red areas, and she's outperforming, the rest of the Democratic ticket by quite a bit, and that's why she's now the ranking member of the committee. So I'm really looking forward to her and Glenn working together, along with the Senate, where now Amy Klobuchar, our senator, is now the ranking member in the Senate, along with Boozman. And I think they're going to be able to work together. So we're hoping, you guys, that it'll be pretty quick that we're going to get that farm bill going. And I know you've got some challenges, but we're going to do what we can to help. And I, stayed involved somewhat because I care about this and I want to help do what I can to get things to work. It's become so partisan in this country, and it's even affected the Ag Committee, which I never thought it would do, but it has. And so I'm doing what I can to help, I'm not sure how much I can do, but to help try to move that thing forward. Because we do need a farm bill, and we need a long-term safety net that we can count on. So to the Farm Bureau, thank you for supporting me all those years. I know there were times when there was a lot of pressure not to support me, and I didn't always just win the endorsement right kind of unanimously, but you guys stuck with me all the years, and that's part of why I was able to represent a red district all those years and bring that to Congress. So it's been an honor of a lifetime, and I thank you for your part of that, and thank the Farm Bureau for what you do. You guys do a great job representing the farm folks of the United States, and I look forward to working with you as we go forward. I'm talking too long, but thanks again for the award. I don't think I'm as popular as that dog, but I'll work on it.
Farm and ranch families across our nation faced devastating natural disasters in 2024, and Farm Bureau stepped up to provide critical help. Back in March of last year, 1.2 million acres of the Texas Panhandle burnt, killing more than 12,000 cattle. It was the costliest wildfire in Texas history, causing more than $123 million in agriculture damages. Last August, more than 100 fires scorched more than 1 million acres in eastern Oregon. Nearly half of this area was critical grazing land, profoundly affecting Oregon's agricultural community. In September, Hurricane Helene tore through the southeast, leaving a trail of devastation. Preliminary estimates suggest the economic impact, including property and infrastructure damage, could reach as high as $200 billion.
Hello, I'm Alan Clark, a fifth-generation grain and alfalfa farmer from Idaho and chair of the AFBF Promotion Education Committee. It is my honor to recognize the very first recipient of the Farm Bureau Veteran Farmer Award of Excellence. Sponsored by Farm Credit, the award recognized a U.S. military veteran who has shown excellence in farming and community impact.
I started as a reserve officer in the Army, and then I went to full-time active guard and reserve time. So I went to Afghanistan about 2003, and then I went back to Iraq. I think the biggest reward of my career. always trucks up. Take my troops home. I really felt like throughout that journey, I met a lot of people that needed help. So a lot of people, go through deployments, have relationships that need healing. When I came in 2016 to Indiana, I decided to start a farm that I could have veterans come to. What we do at Addie's Orchard is really try to connect with both veterans and other agencies. So I appreciate American Farm Bureau really highlighting the veterans, because it does start to fade away after a while. So the impact will be huge. I mean, I'll be able to buy beehives for the next 2 years with the money. I'll be able to partner more with Heroes to Hives to help them train up the veterans in beekeeping. So to be able to be a farmer, to be able to give food to, food pantries or community organizations and see people eat from it, it's really a service-driven occupation. I'll get calls for over 100 people a year wanting to get into agriculture. How many have been successful is hard to quantify. I feel successful and it's worth my time if I save one from hurting themselves.
Congratulations to retired Army Colonel Joe Ricker of Indiana, winner of $10,000. Would all of the military veterans in the audience please stand?
Agriculture is more than just the food that we eat, the food on your table. It's a lifestyle for many of us. It's a way that we work. It's a way that we earn money. For us, this is our viability. And if we lose farming, if we import all of our food, we're no longer viable as a nation. Therefore, it is imperative that we start saving family farms now. We need labor to do this. We're not just a family farm, we're families that farm together. So I really want our farm to succeed. Everyone wants to pass their farm on to their kids. Well, our crew also has their kids too. They grow up and work on the farm as well. We share in what happens on the farm. So if my farm goes under, it's not just my kids who are going to lose out. It's our crew's kids who are going to lose out as well. We want to protect our crew because we love them. And if we go under and have to sell our farm, they're going to have to leave. If we don't make a change now, we're going to lose our farm.
Most of the vegetables we're growing are hand harvested, and so we need that labor source to be successful and to get our crop to the consumer. The H2A program has been around for a long time. We started using it back in 2013. Most of the people that are coming to harvest are people that have been coming for 4 to 5 years, probably at a minimum. They come on a legal work visa for up to 10 months. They're on our farm sometimes from May to November, and so after that they'd go back to Mexico or Guatemala. They're coming here to look for a better life, for a better opportunity to economically benefit their family. So a lot of them come up and they'll come back year after year, and they'll do that for X amount of years until they've started a life down there. A lot of them are building houses and buying farms and starting their lives down in Mexico or Guatemala, just looking for a better opportunity for them and their family.
Impact on farmers from the labor shortage really comes down to future. Who's going to be farming our farmland and who's going to be taking care of those crops and harvesting it. And we need to find a way to make sure that farmers can sustain themselves and continue to do what's right for the farm, but also do what's right for the people that's coming and working so hard for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Vice President of our great organization, it's my pleasure and privilege to help recognize the 5 individuals retiring from the AFBF Board of Directors. Now, we're not saying goodbye, they just won't be on the board anymore, but we certainly appreciate their service and dedication to Farm Bureau. So if you would, please step forward as I recognize you. As AFBF Young Farmers and Ranchers Chair, Kevin Lucier served on the board for 1 year. Let's give him a hand. Jim Harper was not able to join us. He served as Louisiana Farm Bureau President and on the Board of Directors for 4 years. Let's give him a hand, please. As Michigan Farm Bureau President, Carl Benarski served on the board for 9 years and on the executive committee for 2 years. Stephanie Smallhouse served as Arizona Farm Bureau President and on the AFBF board for 6 years and on the executive committee for 1 year. Wayne Pryor served on the AFBF board for 18 years while president of the Virginia Farm Bureau. I want to thank all of these folks for their service to our great organization. They're great friends. We've gotten to know them very well and wish them well in their futures. Thank you.
For over 100 years, American Farm Bureau has provided a vehicle for farmers and ranchers all over this country to step up and drive forward in our advocacy work, providing one united voice for American farmers.
Farm Bureau has helped many members step up and drive forward. I've seen that on countless occasions through county, state, and national issues. And really, when we all do that together, nothing stronger than a united voice.
Farm Bureau has helped me to connect with others, to step up, to be a better farmer and rancher as I've met wonderful people throughout this country.
As a potato farmer from a small town in Idaho, Farm Bureau has helped me to tell the stories of farmers and ranchers across this nation.
Farm Bureau has helped me step up and drive forward in ways that I can help my local counties, work with the state, and at the national level to help farmers get what it is that they need.
For over 70 years, my family has been involved in Farm Bureau. They anticipated that I step up and drive forward for not only our farm, but our entire industry.
All Americans should care about tax reform for agriculture, and this is why. Our family farms are already being threatened by rising costs and inflation, just like your families are. And new tax burdens, they would put pressure on our farms to the point where they may have to go out of business. That would cause more consolidation in our food system. And it could even cause us to depend more on imported food, which Americans really don't want to happen. They want to know where their food comes from, and they want it to come from America. We need to continue these tax provisions that we have so it helps our farmers be able to sustain themselves there. Because at the end of the day, food security in our country really provides us national security, because we don't have to depend on any other country to grow the food that we consume and our families consume every day. We can always depend on an American farmer to be there and deliver that quality of food. Tax reform is important to our farmers because it goes straight to the economic sustainability of our farms. Farmers are price takers, not price makers. That means that we take whatever the price is that people are offering to pay for the commodities that we produce. That means we run on very thin margins. And these small business tax provisions helps us keep us economically sustainable. The average age of the farmer across America is my age, and we have to find ways to be able to pass our farms on to the next generation so that we can continue to provide that food and fiber for our people here in America. Through estate tax exemptions, we're able to let our families inherit our land without having to sell parts of it off to pay the tax burden. Farmers have America's back by providing the food, fiber, and fuel that we all depend on. But the American people can have the farmers back by supporting tax provisions that allow us to keep our farms in business.
Hello, everyone. I'm Caitlin Keck. My husband and I raise corn, soybeans, and beef in Minnesota, and I work off the farm as the Senior Director of Stakeholder Communications for the National Pork Board. I am also the chair of the YF&R Convention Subcommittee. I'm here to announce the final 4 competitors in this year's discussion meat competition. They will tackle the question, increases in the price of agricultural land make access and ownership of land one of the biggest hurdles for young farmers and ranchers looking to start or expand farms and ranches. How can young farmers and ranchers position themselves to react to competition for agricultural land? The finalists are John Norwood from North Carolina, Hayden Ballard from Utah, Kane Thurmond from Georgia, and Abby Campbell from Ohio. Congratulations to each of you and good luck tomorrow. The final discussion will start at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on the Cultivation Center stage at the trade show. We hope to see you there. A giant thank you to our convention sponsors who make this event possible: Bayer Crop Science, Case IH, Corteva, Farm Credit, Ford, John Deere, Nationwide, Syngenta, and T-Mobile. We'll see you here tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. when we'll reveal the winners of the Young Farmer and Rancher competitive events and the Ag Innovation Challenge, and hear from former NFL wide receiver and leadership expert Eric Bowles. And don't forget about the Farm Bill update tomorrow at 9 a.m., featuring the chairman and ranking member of the House Agriculture Committee. That's in room 301 ABC. Have a great evening.
Would